Hello, my dear followers and subscribers. I found this empty bottle today and I like the name of it. But let's forget about that shit. My friends, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard the phrase, what scale to play against what chord? Well, that's nonsense because today we're gonna talk about the EVs, the devilish, diminished chord. And many people get confused with uh, the half diminished, the minor, and the diminished 7 chord. Today, lesson is about diatonic perversions, beginning from the diminished chord, which within the major scale is the seven notes of the major scale, which clearly says diatonic major scale diminished, which is the 5-degree flattened, and considering as a triad, this is where we will get confused. This shape, chord shape here, it involves the 1st degree, the flattened 5, and the flattened 3rd. If you keep following this progression with these 3 notes in this inversion, you get these kind of sonorities. Oops. I'm kind of nervous because this restaurant is about to close in 30 more minutes. And obviously, B flat minor, back to C diminished chord. Following this progression, we are keeping the triads, only triads. No flat 7, no double flat 7, but only triads. What happens when you add a flat 7 to the diminished chord? Well, this one becomes the diminished, no, sorry, I'm getting confused. The half diminished. When you add a flat 7, becomes half diminished. But what happens then within the sonority of the chord? Well, this leads you into more jazzy kind of sound, such as this. Okay, so that's for jazz players and funky players. I mean, there is nothing wrong to get to know them in order to expand your knowledge. But since I am a metal guy, I don't give too much energy into the jazz thing, right? Now what happens when you add a double flat 7 to the progression? It sounds more like a minor jazz kind of thing. If you keep flattening the 7th degree of each chord, you get the same results as dominant. But we're not here to teach jazz music at all. So we're taking care of our main triads. And having said this, There's nothing wrong with extensions within any chord, because if you think of them as a triad, they will always sound as triads, regardless their nature and functionality, because you're just sounding two notes at the same time, wherever they are. Let's say let's talk about this one here. It seems to be like I'm holding many notes, but it's another way to see the diminished triad chord, which belongs to the local mode. And remember, you are within the major scale all the time. Even if they become half diminished, a diminished flat 7/5, or half diminished, you know all those chords. An example to soloing about this, taking back the main point about what chord with what scale you should play. Let's take a little example here on the diminished 7, right? Because the flat 7 is added to it. It's not just a triad, but it's a diminished, half diminished, please. Because the double diminishes the diminished 7 or flat 5, 7 flat 5. But in this case, I'm talking about the half diminished chord. And I'm gonna give you an example. Well, let me explain and put it this way. In other words, I want to tell you, if you know the word suffix, what it means the nature of each chord and scale. If you're talking about a D flat major chord, obviously you're talking about a major arpeggio as well, but also you're talking about major scale belonging to the root note, which is in this case D major. Did you get it? Okay, all right, so let's go back. So just to keep it in mind, suffixes means the same regardless the chord, the arpeggio, or the scale. And I'm going to show you a little example with the three things that share same suffixes. This is the diminished, half diminished chord. This is the half diminished scale. And obviously it's arpeggio. Sorry, again. Well, sorry, there was kind of an inflection. Changing keys meaning inflections. But today we're not going to talk about inflections. We're just going to concentrate on one thing. I think I got it wrong. The arpeggio is 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, again first, third, flat 5, flat 6. Well, this is just for you to get the idea what I'm talking about. And having shown you these examples, I want to share with you some sentences which I want to make a point out of these two sentences I'm going to show you. Oh, well, the first one goes like this: the master manipulator lies as little as possible. He believes most, if not all, of what he professes. His quality makes him difficult to unmask. Once a subject realizes he is being manipulated, defenses are engaged, and future machinations become exponentially more challenging. Well, the other sentence is in contrast to this one, says the following: the challenge for the World Trade Organization is to maintain and strengthen its role as the main driving force in trade liberalization to ensure sustainable growth and development. what I'm trying to say here is that one sentence is, the second one makes you more mature kind of person, whereas the first one is more fantasy. Yeah, I consider the tool to set your mind free from shit all around the world. Guys, it's been a pleasure being with you, and I hope you guys also have your coffee. And remember, mistakes are for free, okay? Nobody's perfect, but little crazy, you know? Thank you so much. Subscribe, don't doubt about it. We are gonna learn together. And happy weekend, my friends.